What's going on, y'all? So it's another great Sunday afternoon. Just kind of out for a walk right now. You know, just kind of taking a break from my normal routine. So I thought I might as well just go out, enjoy the public scene, engage, interact with society for a little bit. And I thought, you know what, why not record my thoughts right now? Because I do have an interesting topic. Well, not really, but it's something that most people are completely unaware of, especially in today's world. And in the last video, I talked about the importance of, you know, we're in understanding we're in a class warfare right now. But what I actually really wanted to talk about right now is, see, there's a lot going on right now, which I'm actually quite surprised because the drive here was actually pretty smooth. And on a Sunday, you know, it doesn't really surprise me, but here's what I actually wanted to talk about with you guys real quick. Listen, at some point, you guys are going to have to pick a side. You're going to have to pick a side. Either you left or you right. You up or you down. You rich, you poor, you strong, you weak, whatever it may be. It's a tale of contrasts. We're now in an era where now you have to be one or the other. We live in a society, or I should say, a society of extremes. There is no more gray. This is black and white. You gotta pick a side. You gotta pick a side because the world in which we live in right now, it doesn't really give us the opportunity to be spectators anymore. You gotta be gladiators, you gotta be willing to get into the arena and compete. And most times, people don't even want to do so because either they're afraid, they don't have no opinions to stand, or they don't have anything to stand on their own. So it's easy to watch someone else go through it rather than actually going through it themselves. It's actually pretty nice outside. I'm not gonna lie. Hold on. I don't know if I want to get something from Luna Grill or I just want to chill and hang out right now. I might get some ice cream, but not really. Not really in the mood for ramen, but listen, that's neither here nor there. In this age where you have to learn how to separate yourself, you gotta do what most people are not willing to do. Take me, for example. I'm out here recording a vlog, recording content, and absolutely nobody is doing the same thing that I'm doing right now, which again, gives me a unique edge to stand out. And most people don't do this because they're actually afraid of what other people might think of them. Me personally, I don't really give a fuck. Everything I wanted to check out is actually closed right now, so you have to forgive me. I can be a bit scatterbrained a little bit, only because I'm just kind of taking my environment right now. I'm actually gonna go see if the mall's open. I don't think it's open right now. I honestly think it's closed because on Sundays, it has a tendency to close early. So I thought, you know what, I might as well just go out, see what I can get into for the time being. Right next to the Yard House restaurant. That's why you hear all the music and you hear all this camaraderie and scenery. Yeah, it looks like it's closed. Yeah, it looks like it's closed right now. So there's nothing really going on right now. But it's fine because this just gives me a unique opportunity to just kind of take a walk and have this conversation with you guys. So again, here are my thoughts. Hear me out here. We are now in the era of extremes. We're now in the era of extremes. You can no longer put yourself in a position to where you have to be down the middle. Listen, I believe in the word of God. It says, and I can't remember exactly what verse it is, but I did hear where God says, look, either you're cold or you're hot, or you're hot or you're cold. If you lukewarm, I spit you out my mouth. Pretty much what he's saying there is you got to take a side. You got to pick a side. And a lot of people can't even stand on their own too. They can't even pick a side for whatever reasons it may be. Fear of being ostracized, fear of being judged. It's very easy for people like me to say, you know what, I'm a gladiator in this arena. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna participate, and I'm gonna see what's going on. So I will choose either hot or cold, good or bad, rich or poor. Look, listen, it doesn't matter what it is. You can't afford to sit in the sidelines and spectate, not anymore. Especially with artificial intelligence on the rise. Listen, you have to find creative ways to stand out, guys. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. If you cannot find any type of creative way to stand out, you are going to be left behind and your ass is going to be thrown to the wolves. Again, pay attention to what it is that I'm doing right now. I'm out here recording a video, doing something that most people are unwilling to do because, again, people are just afraid. They're afraid of what other people might think. Well, they're afraid of what other people might think of them. They're afraid of being judged, whatever it may be. At some point, you got to get over the fear, guys. You got to get over the fear and find a way to innovate yourselves. I'm just going to hold it out like this and see what's going on. Excuse me, I'll just experiment with the camera right now. Practice does make perfect. That's why I also put out this content, because I actually want to be more refined into what it is that I'm doing. But listen, you're going to have to find a way to separate yourself, and you're going to have to pick a side. You're going to have to pick a side. Even in your friend groups, in your normal social settings, you're going to have to pick a side. Because you can have two friends, they could be cool with each other all they want. They can like each other, they can rock with each other, but at some point you're going to have to pick a side. Because you can't just merely stay in the middle and just expect to still keep them both around. Especially if they're clawing at each other. By staying in the middle, you're just going to get run over. And then you're the one who's going to lose in the end. People who stay in the middle, especially in today's world, are the ones who are going to lose in the end. You can't afford to spectate anymore. You can't afford to just stay in the middle and expect to just, oh, you know what, I'm just going to see what's happening. No, you got to be an active participant in your own success. You got to be an active participant in what it is that's going on in society today. Especially today. In the age of technology, in this technological age, new media, whatever it may be, if you do not take an active role and participate in standing out, you're going to get left behind, I promise you. And you don't want to be left behind, because once you get left behind, it's over. It's over, and then there's no way back. And you're just going to have to deal with the consequences that come with that. Now, you can try to find a way to still play the middleman, still be on the middle ground, but I'm telling you, people in the middle, they just get run over. Even if you consider yourself among the middle class, you're still going to get run over. Because it's, again, we're approaching an age of extremes. Either you're rich or you're poor. There is no middle ground. And that's going to become even more apparent as the years and the decades go on. It's going to be clear to you guys. And I don't want to say, I don't want you to hear say, hey, why is this happening? Hey, why is my dollar not going as far as it used to? Why is it that we can't have the normal experiences that we used to? Well, it's because I told you. I told you what was going to happen. I told you, you can't afford to be in the middle, to be in the average lane, and expect to still have a decent life or expect to have certain desirable results. You can't. You got to be extraordinary. You got to stand out. I'm about to walk through a crowd right now. Listen, again, a lot of these things take courage because you're going out of your norm. You're going out of your way to do something that most people are unwilling to do. You know, and I'm still trying to figure out what it is I want to eat. Sorry, I was looking at the Silver Lake ramen right now, but the point that I'm trying to make is actually quite clear. You're going to have to find ways to stand out above the crowd. You're going to have to learn to separate yourself from the pack. And the best way to do that is by making the decision, being intentional, and saying, look, this is what I've chosen. This is the side that I'm going to take. Listen, even in politics, you're going to have to take a side. People who are undecided or don't vote, those are the ones who are subjected to whatever it is that comes with it because they're unwilling to participate in the political process. Just like in all things in life, you're going to have to take a side. You're going to have to take a side. There's no other way of looking at it. Listen, we're approaching the era of extremes, and not so much as extremes, but to the point to where you're going to have to choose. At the end of the day, those who make the decision and actually choose and decide, those are the ones that get to play a process or play a role in shaping and determining how society is going to function from that point onward, especially in the age of new media and artificial intelligence. You got to get on this wave while you still can. I don't know why Most people are not doing this right now. But then again, it would be quite a strange world if most people were doing this, because you would just see a whole bunch of memes walking around with these things, but that's neither here nor there. Listen, I'm just gonna go check out, see what it is. I might eat something later because I didn't really eat much all day today. So that's all I wanted to really communicate to you guys. You can't afford to be left behind. You can't be in the middle, because again, excuse my language, people who are in the middle, they end up getting run the fuck over. It is what it is. It is what it is. You're gonna have to pick a side. Do you want to be rich or do you want to be poor? I've made my decision. I want to be rich. I want to be rich as fuck. That's what I've chosen. And everything that comes with it, I'm just gonna have to eat that shit. You're just gonna have to eat whatever comes your way, and you're just gonna have to accept it. But again, in this era of extremes, not making a decision and not choosing is the same thing as making a decision and choosing. So what's your decision? What's your choice? You're gonna have to make a decision whether you want to or not. And even if you don't, it's already been made for you. The elites are the ones who are gonna be made and doing it for you. And even that, you have a choice. You can choose to be elite, or you can choose to be non-elite, whatever the opposite is. But at some point, guys, you're gonna have to take a side. That's my thoughts today. Listen, be intentional, be on top of your game, because it's gonna get crazy from here on out. Artificial intelligence on the rise. You don't think driverless cars are actually gonna be a reality? And then people are gonna be able to do their work while they're driving. Well, technically, they're not gonna be driving. The car is gonna be driving. It's gonna be smart cars. And that's just the next evolution after electric cars. But anyway, I'm just babbling on. That's probably another video for another day. I just wanted to get some thoughts out. Again, this is my big takeaway for you guys. Pick a fucking side. Pick a side. You're either going to choose to be great, or you're going to choose to be left behind. You're going to be strong, or you're going to be weak. Rich, poor, whatever it may be. You could be right, you could be wrong. But at the very least, pick a fucking side. Until the next time. Deuces, guys.